it's a 12 for me. I said this in an interview before. The album is 12 unskippable tracks.
Oh, it's like that. Yeah, I must admit, bro. When I was playing the track, I said play one track. And when it ended, I was like, hold on a second, I didn't even press forward yet. I was the play track. I said, oh, sugar, it's next track. Okay, cool.
So for me right now, I'm just focusing on promoting the album, because if you have a good product and you don't promote that product, then no one's gonna know about the product.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Affinity Xtra, be extra.
Yeah. People, this is your boy here, Roger Moore, and Affinity Xtra, celebrating gospel music, our black origin, and this is how we do it here. We are, and what I love about black people music, yeah? We are like Skittles, because we have everything on lock, you know what I'm saying? I don't care what anyone says, we are the number one when it comes to music, yeah? Guys, challenge me. Europeans challenge me, Chinese challenge me, because all I know say Nathan Mount was signed by Man United and I had a Drake track in the background. Why? Because we're the kings of music, yeah? Don't know. Anyway, we're not kings of music in Christianity, but we deal with that problem when we get there still, yeah? And we try to deal with it now, because we celebrate gospel music of black origin here on Affinity Xtra. And yes, before Roger goes into a rant about gospel music, we're here to celebrate UK gospel in terms of UK, not only UK gospel trying to be watered down and do a worship track. We're not talking about UK gospel trying to do a cover. We're not talking about UK gospel drill. We're not talking about UK gospel soft tune them. So we're not talking about UK gospel hi-fi or lo-fi, whatever you call it. We're talking about UK gospel. You know how it goes, man. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about UK gospel. The thing there still, which is the original. I said dancehall music. I might like to say dancehall music, but we're here with Minister Taff there still. One of them, I would say, too few artists that are doing Caribbean influenced music here in the UK. Go on, like we ain't got no heritage still, but maybe due to systems. But we're gonna get into that because we don't get the support anyway. So, but that's a whole nother kind of fish anyway. But we'll get there anyway still. But listen, I'm here doing the interview alongside Minister Taff. Minister Taff, what's happening, bro?
Yeah, man, what go on? There, I'm in the building.
Let's drop it hardcore. For listen, guys. If I had the videos right now, bro, I'd show you, man. Listen, he said Wagwan, yeah. I'm gonna do a little video about this. About Mo Gilligan did some Wagwan in sign language thing with somebody, and it was just offensive. Listen, Wagwan is our thing still, yeah. You know what I'm saying? When it's our thing, it's a Caribbean thing. So if you hear anybody of non-Caribbean descent go Wagwan and they do it in a track or anything like that still, yeah, listen, it's not theirs, it's ours. You know what I'm saying? That's how we greet. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But 100%, man. But listen, Minister Taff is now starting the journey, he's starting, I wouldn't say off the blocks. I would say when you release an album, it's almost a case of second lap, let's go. Just getting your album out there is tough. So he's just released out the album called A Different, yeah, and obviously different, and due to our station we do have a few reggae heads, you know what I'm saying, but I'm into even though I love my reggae, so the dancehall 100%, man, but what I would want to do, guys, discuss today, guys, is how he's got here, and also how he wants to go forward, because I'm a UK gospel fan, yeah, but I don't think we out here in the UK gospel celebrate the journeys of our people, you know what I'm saying, and celebrate journey and the struggle that we do and the passion to release music, and you're not signed to a label. Man will say, me nah do them things, you know what I mean? No, people are doing that because they want to transform people's lives. That's a serious love, man. That's serious hard. That's serious, because I know, man, we'd rather stay and just go to Jamaica twice a year than spend on doing an album. You know what I'm saying? But the selfless work of an artist that invests into a style of music which is actually doesn't fit the norm here in the UK. Yo, salute to you, brother. Salute to you. So listen, bro.
Respect. Appreciate that.
No. It's no joke thing, man. You know, sacrifices is not a joke thing, and I think that straight away, if you feel guilty and you have to go on Spotify or Tidal or wherever you go, or even iTunes and download the track, you know what I'm saying? Feel guilty, yeah, and listen to it. You know, because we have to support his ministers in the gospel, whichever way we can. So, bro, I've done a little bit of research into yourself. Obviously, we've had an interview and a conversation with ourselves. You are coming from the lovely island of Jamaica, and yourself born and bred. Which part of Jamaica again are you from? You from town or country?
Country boy, innit?
Yeah. That's the which Trelawney. Okay, cool. Sorry, my dad's my dad's family is St Andrew up David's Hill, them sides. You know what I'm saying? So so country, yeah, man. It's cold country. Trust me, country up in the hills, them are cold. Trust me, I've been there, experienced that. But he done this, and he obviously come the journey, come to the UK. I remember when I spoke to you last time, we talked about your hip hop background, you loving your rap, and then how you transferred that into and also your production insight, and you transferred that into a dancehall artist here in the UK, and seeing the transformation in dancehall. You know what I'm saying? And for me, what I like about what you do is like it's hard when you grew up a certain way and now you see the style of music just change, and how have you coped before we get into it, as a guy who's come up in probably and seen as a child dancehall's peak days, and you hear that sound, that particular popular, worldwide popular sound, which is not as it's not as popular now.
It's not as predominant.
Yeah. And they've kind of, I wouldn't say soften it up. It's changed. It's got like a lot of Afro influences some way. It's got a lot of very electronic sound in some ways. It's a bit softer, not as bassier. How now you're coming to produce an album, knowing your roots, and you almost have to kind of like switch up a little bit still, because it's obviously it's not as dancehall as an album that came out, say for example 10 years ago. So how have you cope with that as an artist?
I mean, it wasn't hard, first and foremost. I think it was it wasn't hard. Obviously, I know about back in the days, when it comes to dancehall music, you know what I mean, back in the 90s leading up to the early 2000s and stuff like that. Because even now, like I think I mentioned this before, even now sometimes with the big hip hop artists and stuff like that, they normally sample some of the hardcore dancehall stuff from back in the 90s.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But for me, I mean, over the years, you know what I mean, the music evolves. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get a new generation that comes and they'll try something and see if that works. Like for example, now in Jamaica, you see they call this thing called trap dance already. The music is just a little, the beat and stuff like that is completely different from, back in the 90s and stuff like that. But my album is, you get a little bit of trap on there. I think it's just on one song a year, bit of trap. You got the like kind of R&B mixed with Afro and reggae on it as well. And just strictly dancehall type production. So it's just, it's a good thing as well, and that's why the album is also called Different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just to appeal to a wider audience, pretty much like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Cool. No, that's brilliant, bro. That's brilliant. I think that that's good, because sometimes a lot of artists try and find it hard to evolve, try hard to grow, and sometimes they don't even bother. But sometimes it's good to be your authentic self. But then, sometimes people get gains when they can evolve quite quickly, and I think it's important to evolve in music sounds, because sometimes we get too nostalgic about certain eras, and I have to realize that you sound like your parents when you says, "Oh, back in the day, music was better." You know what I'm saying? Everyone says back in the day, music is better. Been saying that for centuries. You know what I'm saying? So, if music evolves, music grows, and so on. So, in terms of this album, bro, now you started releasing singles from this album not just last week but a bit ago. So you've been working on this for a while, you know what I mean, because your last album I believe was it 20s or 21 or something like that.
So the last my first album, first reggae gospel album was released in 2019.
2019, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, 2019, and then I had the EP in 2021.
That's it.
The EP, 2021. I dropped the EP titled "Ena Minima," and then last year I just released some 4 singles, and then this year God said, "Okay, cool." You know what I mean? Album time. So got in the album mode. I've been recording this album since last year, as a matter of fact. I started in September, so it took me about 6 months to finish it. You know what I'm saying? So I started in September, but I spaced it out a bit. So I recorded a bit in September, and then I think was it in October or so? Maybe in October, and then left it. Then came back in about February, and then going down and managed to finish it. So yeah, it took me about 6 months to complete.
Oh, nice. And sometimes guys don't feel no way, man. You know, some things take time. You know what I'm saying? You can't just do it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying album, and I think we're not in no situation like we're full time in this, so we can't just turn up, do an album in a week, and then go on tour. Them things don't work. You know what I mean?
You can't rush greatness either. So you know that's another thing as well. You can't rush greatness, and you can't rush something that's beautiful, and that's something that I've found out while recording this album. You know what I mean? Cool. That's why I'm getting a lot of positive feedback.
Yes,
so, you know what I mean? People are really gravitating to the album. And that was because I was patient and, you know, took my time with recording. So, yeah, man.
So, you know, we've I noticed that there's like me now being a producer, I kind of, if I was working with an artist, I'll be like, yo, dude, like let's just get it down to 10 tracks, and you know what I mean, we push the 10 tracks. You did a few more than 10 tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. I'm thinking, yo, man, that bars, get out there. Is the tracks that we haven't, that you just basically throw away, or you just basically just refined all the tracks that you had opportunity to do? Because it's kind of strange for me now to see so many tracks on an album with from one artist, and there wasn't that many collabs, but we're going to get to the collab as well. So for you to do so many straight tracks, you know, and have so many tracks, how did you pull that one off?
Yeah, so I had tracks that I wrote from time ago, like even 3-4 years ago.
Okay, nice.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you write music and you just wait for the right time. You know what I'm saying? Because you got good music, you got great music, whatever the case may be, but you don't just want to rush and put out music. You want to wait for the right time. And then obviously, as a Christian, obviously I have to enter into prayer and stuff like that, and fasting, and to find out from God what songs, you know what I mean, that I need to put on the album. Because obviously I don't have a big label behind me where I'm going to record like 70 songs and then we're going to narrow it down to like 14. So you definitely have to be in prayer and fasting and say, okay, come God, listen, show me what I want, and then we'll take it from there. So yeah, and you know, 12 is the number of completion. So you know what I'm saying? So that's what God told me, 12, and showed me the songs. Even one of the songs that I wasn't going to put on the album is titled Fake King. I wrote that song this year I wrote that song. Yeah, this year. Yeah, and I wasn't going to put it on the album. And God told me to put it on the album. And I kept hearing the voice, like every single day I kept hearing the voice to put the song on the album. And I was just ignoring that voice. I'm not going to put it on the album. And then one day I said, you know what, no, I'm not going to, because this voice is not leaving me. It's constantly in my head.
Oh, yeah, I know one name.
And then I said, all right, cool. So I wrote down the track listing before in my notebook. So I decided to write that one, the name of that song. So I put Faking, and immediately when I wrote that down, the voice stopped.
Wow.
I said, yes. I said, you need. I knew it. It was meant to be on the album. So it's a good thing I obeyed and put it on the album. But yeah, man. It's a 12 for me. I said this in an interview before. The album is 12 unskippable tracks.
Oh, it's like that. Yeah, I must admit, bro. When I was playing the track, now I said played one track. And when it ended, I'm like, hold on a second, I didn't even press forward yet. I was the play track. I said, oh, sugar, it's next track. Okay, cool. So that's a good sign. 100%. That's a fantastic sign. Now, obviously, you're in the you get this album out. It's called Different. Now, straight away, I'm assuming, is that different because you're the only well, not only one of the few artists left that's doing Caribbean influenced music. Is it different because lyrically it's different, or because you still say Jesus in your tracks? Not a joke. Don't get me in trouble, people. But anyway, why is it different? Why have you picked that album different? Is it different because of your peer group and you're going on different? Why is it different?
So no, so different. The definition of different is not the same as another. So my first album compared to this one is completely different, even production wise.
Okay.
Different, and just to kind of let people hear me and to see that I'm different from other artists, so they can't compare me with anyone because I'm not in the comparison thing. You understand? I'm completely different from all the other artists.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So and also the vibe. The message, the lyrics, you know what I'm saying? Everything on the album is just completely different, but at the end of the day, there is a message. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, that's beautiful. That's great. That's great, man. And it's good. You know what I like people as well. Still, is that there's always a reason for anything, and I think that being different, and again I have to salute you for being different from in terms of style, in terms of your delivery, not because you've gone out the way to different, you just kept it real with your roots. And I feel that I think too often, and I want to out half the UK gospel industry, we have to become successful, have to, I hate it when people in my position, people console and say, Roger, what should I do? And they go to me, and the people in my position say to them, this is what a hit sounds like. Get to that. If you get to that, if you give me one of them, you'll guaranteed make it. And I'm like, that's the biggest baloney out there I've ever heard. End of the day, gold, when people found gold in Americas, and whenever there's a gold rush, the only people that made money is the people that got there first. Yeah. So do you get to your zone, be your gold, understand yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? Because when you go and get somebody else's gold, there ain't no gold left for you. So by the time you get that hit, I have never seen a biggie artist that changes their style actually be as successful as the artist that first did it. So we have to in our community, we have to start following and actually stand up and do us. And you know what I mean? I salute you for that, bro.
That's what it's supposed to be. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no, salute you. And the thing is, you've evolved. So there's a difference between evolution and there's within your genre and actually trying to be popular. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? End of the day, still, Bob Marley didn't do a popular style, but it's popular now. You know what I mean?
There you go. You know what I mean? He's just being himself, you know?
So, end of the day, so people get, the man was in the heights of racial tensions. Man's doing tracks like, Cussing Out Babylon and Exodus and all them tracks there still, and we still think it's revolutionary talk today. You know what I mean? And he did it right then.
Real.
So
timeless.
So which is fantastic. So I'm looking at lyrical content of your track. Let me just bring up this thing on my screen. When you got Face ID on this thing, and you have to turn away, walk up your neck to go and look at the thing. So I'm looking at your titles. You got you got Never Leave Me Alone, Tell Them, Follow Me, Tell Me. Oh, that's interesting. I wouldn't just about like that. But anyway, so God keep guarding, Fake King, Big Up, God, Different. No talk. It doesn't seem. It seems like there's a kind of vibe and feel. There's like you having to. It's like you have to hold your ground. It seems like that hold your ground vibe on your album and stuff like that. Why do you? I know the album titles about different, but what are you holding your ground? You feel like throughout the album you're holding your ground against something or someone or spirit, or what you're holding your ground against, bro?
I wouldn't say much of for me obviously holding the ground, but strictly for me it's just all about delivering the gospel. You know what I mean? But obviously God uses us to deliver the gospel in many different ways, So for example, God may give me a song that speaks about, like for example, there's a track on the album titled Secretly Jealous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And obviously, that's facts. Whether in the Christendom or whether in the world, you have people, you're doing your thing, you're being successful. Just like I even said in the song, that this guy started as a janitor, and then he became the manager, and then you had people just secretly jealous of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so God uses even those songs to draw people in. You know what I mean? So God used different ways. So it's for me, it's just holding the ground of just being me and just doing what God tells me to do, and just following through and just doing that. So that's simply, yeah, man.
Yeah, you know, that's blessed. That's blessed. That's blessed, man. That's blessed. 'Cause I think that definitely, I think that that there's a vibe where and I think that people don't realize, you know, to be a Christian, we're not popular. To be a Christian that actually wants to change the world, a Christian that wants to do something in this world.
Yeah, man.
You're not supported. You know what I'm saying? And you do something against the norm. We're in 2023. We're still having to make a stand. You know what I mean? Make a stand, not out in the community, but within our own church circles, within our own gospel circles. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely crazy. So guys, if we're just roughing people up there going, nah, why do you rough? I'm just telling you as it is, man, and what I see. And stuff like that. So obviously you got this, you got how many tracks out would you say? Yeah, you got 2 albums now, you got an EP. So for me, there's enough material out there for Minister Taff from his back catalogue and now catalogue to actually hold down Evening with Minister Taffs. I'm not saying you haven't had one, but you know what I'm saying, you got the content to kind of like tweak up, and you know we got the content there. Obviously I'm not saying you can't do no more albums. You got there, so you know in terms of, and this is the tough part for artists like yourself, how do you approach now? You got the album, you got a great album come out now. Yeah, how you're trying to approach getting your music out there and actually performing? Or is performance not the thing you want to focus on? It's more just getting your music out there. What's next for you? What do you want to see happen next?
I mean, for me, both. But at the end of the day, if you promoting your music and the music is reaching the right ears, you're bound to get shows, because people are gonna automatically gravitate to the music, and they're gonna want to book you for shows. Even right now, I've got like bookings pending because people love what I do. Brilliant. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, as you rightfully said in regards to like the catalog, you know, I believe in having catalog, and that's when obviously if someone, you know, books you for a show, let's say okay, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, you know, you've got quality music, you know what I mean, to be able to perform or to hold the crowd or whatever the case may be. So going back to your question, also for me right now, I'm just focusing on promoting the album, because if you have a good product and you don't promote that product, then no one's gonna know about the product. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's my main focus at the moment, is just to keep promoting the album. So hence the reason why we're doing this interview as well. This is another part of it. I just concluded another interview recently on Premier Gospel. Shout out to Premier Gospel. Yeah, man, it's just full focus on promo, and at the right time, yeah, definitely shows will be coming in. No doubt about that.
Did you ever? Because I know back in the day, in my I remember I used to do tours with the missus, and I used to have to go around and get that. But it's like weird now, because you don't have shows which you can call and say, can I be in that bill? You know, like when I was a youth, you know what I mean, you know, there was so many concerts in the scene that they literally, you know, you could say, let me phone Roger, because Roger's bound to do a show coming up in the next 6 months, you know what I mean? Let me just hit him up on your album. But there doesn't seem to be the promoters, and this is a real struggle for me when it comes to young artists. As much as you may have shows, they're mainly like maybe a youth pastor's organised it or whatsoever for his local church, but there's not many promoters doing, I wouldn't say big shows, but UK based shows, or even like with artists from the Caribbean or even from the US, and where artists like yourself with new products can get on that bill to hit to a bigger audience. Is kind of a tough thing for you, as much as you got the technology for you. It's for me, it's sometimes tough, because you don't have them platforms that are really good, that really shows Minister Taff to be at his best. He's good doing things in churches, God bless churches, let's be real, but when you're on that stage where you got proper theatre, lights, production, speakers blasting, and it's to detail, there's not many of them about the place. How do you you deal with that as an artist where you want to be at the best, but you're having to always almost sometimes compensate just to get to places where you really like, well, I'm gonna make this work?
You see, one of the things that comes to mind when you mention that is about humility. But at the end of the day, when it comes to me though, I'm not gonna go somewhere where the sound is not really proper and, you know what I mean? It has to be, decent is the word. I could probably use the word decent at the end of the day, because I'm funny when it comes to, you know, the system and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, I'm there to be a blessing to the people, and I don't want me trying to be a blessing to the people and then the system is messing up and no, you know what I'm saying? That sometimes if you're not careful, it can throw you off. But shout out, the thing is, like, there's quite a few events that's going on in the UK. People are doing some, you know, but very rare you see certain, like, let's say, you know, gospel reggae artists on the bills. Most of them is like the worship stuff and the Afro artists and the rap artists or the drill artists or whatever the case may be. But one of the things also in regards to that, for me, I'm just patient, because what God has for me, no man can take that. You know what I'm saying? So the doors that's gonna be open when it comes to that. It's only a matter of time, and it's in God's timing. So I'm just being patient. You know what I mean? Do the bookings that I'm currently on or what I'm getting, and then because at the end of the day, with my ministry as well, it's not just solely for the church. Because sometimes if you listen to some of my music, it's crossover type of music. You know what I mean? Cool. And God didn't call us to sit in the church. You know what I mean? Didn't say come for the healthy. He came for the sick. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So my music is to go out there. So for example, even on this album, a man sitting down on the corner there, he might be smoking or drinking. He can vibe to the album, because there are songs on there that he can vibe to. For example, because there's real life music. For example, Sell You Out. You know what I mean? That's a track there that I spoke about, where, you know, sometimes even with families you have to be careful, because these people, you know what I mean, because of jealousy and stuff like that, they sell you out. You know what I mean? I've seen that in the newspaper and the news too many times. You know what I mean? So a man on the corner can vibe to that, secretly jealous. A man on the corner can vibe to that as well. Even the same song, Big Up God, a man on the corner can vibe to that. So that's just how God has my my ministry. It's not just for the church, it's for bigger things. So yeah, man, I'm looking for, even hopefully by the grace of God, start getting shows to be on the secular platforms to bring the gospel, because that's where it's supposed to be, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, 1,000%, bro. I'm definitely down for that. And and you know, and I think that 100%. I think, you know, as hopefully promoters are listening in and they could listen to your music, and event organizers, you know, whatever event you have, you know, really look at, you know, if you want to represent. I'm not gonna say modern Caribbean music, but current Caribbean style of delivery, because not many of that in the UK. Definitely got many staff there, because I think when I see a lot of my friends that go to raves, sorry, Caribbean raves, the music what I hear is not being delivered in church. and that's a problem to me. You know what I'm saying? I was saying to DJ Nadlock, said my problem is, like, the guys are going to parties and stuff that I go and play football with. We can't still be playing the same reggae that we played. And yes, there's the retro vibes and everybody respects that, but young people are on the next thing. You know what I mean? And I think that we got too few artists within the Caribbean scene that's on the current evolution of Caribbean music. I don't think there's many even in Jamaica. Out there as well. We need more. We need 100% more. Just don't know why. Why do you think that is, mate? Why do you think? There's not many.
You still there is, you know, but I wouldn't say on the dancehall side. I think you probably have. Well, he hasn't. I think the last album he did was probably last year. People like DJ Nicholas. You know, he ain't in Jamaica though. He's in the States. Kevin Downswell, but Kevin Downswell is not really the, I would say, the dancehall type. He's more on the worship side of things. So he's doing his thing. He just released, I think, a double album about a couple of days ago. So you got few people there doing their thing still. But me, I'm not really focused on. I'm just focused on me and what God has called me to be, and just, you know what I mean, doing my best to be able to contribute both to that scene and overall the gospel scene, and just trying to win souls and make a difference in the lives of others. So yeah.
Okay, that's cool. No, that's beautiful, bro. Now, slightly outside of the gospel scene, yeah. What do you get up to in life, bro? Yeah, because it can't be just beats, work. Are you more than just beats and work?
No, so I do go out. You know what I mean? As I've got my wife, so we go out and stuff like that. I like to travel, so we travel. I go to the gym. You know what I mean? And yeah, I do like video games as well.
Okay, so what's the game? What games you running?
FIFA mostly, you know.
Yeah, FIFA, man. Bro, listen, man.
Yeah, because I love football, so yeah, FIFA still. I'm NBA as well. NBA. My wife loves video games as well, so we play each other in it. So,
okay. So
and sometimes I play online with my mates as well, but
yeah. Okay, one of the wives there still, you know, the one still, yeah. That's like back in my day.
Man not boring. Man go out, you know, man touch the street.
Yeah. You don't know what this is, because like it's funny still, yeah. It's like when I see so women start playing computer games, I'm like, yo, we've been playing, back in my day, bro. I didn't make a drive, never had that flex. That never happened. You know what I mean? It's just for the little insular boys. But nah, computer games are big. What you wanting? You wanting Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation. I got PS4 still. Yeah.
You got PS4. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you feeling about the PS5 life? Is that coming to your life, or are you just taking it easy?
I didn't even know, you know. I've been looking into it, but I'm thinking like, just keep going with my PS4, man. It's all good.
Okay. What
you never know what the future holds, but yeah, I'm comfortable right now with the PS4 still. Yeah, man, it's a vibe. All
right. When it comes to football, who's your team, man? You could do
Man U, eh?
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah, 100%. We won't talk about it until we get bought out by Qatar, bro. We just talk humble talk right now until you get that back.
I can't wait for that to happen, man. Glazers need to get out, innit?
Bro, the bag is real. That you need to bring some money into this thing and start ramping. Absolutely stop ramping. Yes. But no, that's real cool. So when it comes to food, are you somebody who has basically stopped eating rice and peas and chicken until it's a special occasion? Or are you that guy that still know what ackee saltfish is? You still have your harder bread, still have your plantain.
Of course, man.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Of course. Listen, man. I'm talking to
Hey, recently I had some because we in Jamaica we love our parents always on a Sunday morning. We would have the Ardo bread and we'll have the Frankfurter with the scrambled egg. Even recently I did that as well, you know what I mean, for my breakfast. Yeah, man, the way I say read Jamaica until we keep it real same way, man. Saturdays, you know, the soup, and Sunday rice.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yes, man.
Listen, man, you have the potato and the dumpling, man. You fry it up in the morning the next day, man. People don't know about them things, right?
If they don't know about them things, you know, man.
Yo, boy, that's absolutely fine. But say that, I just cheated. My mom had soup yesterday, so I was just like, yo, it's a Tuesday, but yo, I had to go get some soup from Worms. I don't want it still, but no, that's calm, yo, because you know, for me, it's like a case of going, you know, there's nothing wrong with a good food, and I think that, you know, sometimes, you know, people are thinking that, why do you hate talking his talk? Because sometimes, man, might just eat McDonald's and really soften up, and you know what I mean. I think it's good to make the youngsters realize that, you know, that we still eat same way. It's good for you, and like I said, you go, Jimmy, take care of yourself, and it's important for me. You know what I mean? And I think in this tough season, bro, even looking at it seems like, bro, I don't know for yourself. It's like, it's weird. COVID was tough, but I always said to people, it's gonna be tougher afterwards. Watch it. There's always a depression after these madness. Yeah, I feel that these times are tougher. So what are you coping with? Because I know it's very easy as Christians when we say, oh yeah, I'm in God, I'm good, I take 2 prayers and get through. But there's a lot of pressures. The cost of life, the cost of living. You switch on the news, you know, madness are going on in France, you know, madness are going on everywhere. You got the Black Lives Matter, you know what I mean, the struggles of black people, the battles of conversation of identity, you know, the republic situation when it comes to slavery. There's a lot of things that we're contemplating as black men, full stop. So how have you coped spiritually and mentally for this period?
You know, to be honest, I gotta give God thanks still for you know, helping me to cope. That's real talk. One of the things, I'm always in the Word, and I believe in the Word of God. You know what I'm saying? It's important for people to always be in the Word and just trust, because that's what God says. So, you know, trust in that. And even as you mentioned about the, you know, cost of living and stuff like that. The thing is, because I know the God who I serve, so even if things, you know, the cost of living go up, I believe and I trust in God that He will also provide to match that. You know what I'm saying? So we as Christians, we have that mentality. Yeah. God, you know what I'm saying? Because the Bible also said that God will supply all our needs according to His riches. You know what I mean? In Christ's glory. So if the cost of living go up, God will provide to match that and even above. Yeah, man.
Brilliant. No, that's brilliant, man. And I think that's really cool, you know, because I think that sometimes we can easily forget that, you know what I'm saying? And I think that I know there's a lot of escapisms, you know, when we look at our friends who haven't got Christ, you know, there's a lot of escapisms, going to parties, escape the troubles when they go back home, but they go back to the same troubles, you know, and sometimes it's so, you know, when all the bills are licking you. And guys, on the real talk, get around with real people, because, you know,
I was just about to say, sorry, I don't want to, I was just about to say that it's important for us to have community as well, because that also helps during even in COVID times, you know what I mean? So if you know you got community, good people that you can call when you're going through certain things, you know, you got people you can confide in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you can talk through. Yeah. Don't try to go through things on your own. So those are things that also help me cope. Good community, people that I can call and talk to. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Reading books. You know what I mean? So these are things that really helped me to navigate during that time. And even myself also wrote a book to encourage people to navigate that time. And it's not just, I believe that book is not just for COVID time, but even now, as you mentioned about cost of living, etc., and all that's going on. The book is started encouragement. So, you know, it's still fitting for now and will be forever. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, community, a great thing to have. Yeah, man.
And we've come away from community and just probably stuck to a little four walls for a long period. And when it comes to crisis, it's good, guys, you know, because we somehow make up things as we go along. It's good to have good people around you. You can't have a million 100%. People around you, but you have good people that you're accountable for. That's not about Rogers or Minister Taft's music career, but more focused about our life career, how we affect life not only on earth, but also affected life in heaven as well. You know, so they're like this. Okay, put all the music aside. How are you? Why are you doing this? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I think it's so. I keep on saying this, bro. That people don't realize that you have people in your life that don't care about your music career. They don't care about, you know what I mean? They care about your soul and your well-being. Forget everything else. How are you? You know what I'm saying? And we need more people like that, because that spills out into your music, 100%, man. You're more productive when you're more stronger anyway. Still, But listen, bro, as we're coming down nicely. Still, you know. Right. So, life. We're gonna go kind of circle back into your music and so on, and you know, just really a case of what certain. Is there anything that we've missed out today that you want to really emphasize from your album, your journey, what you're about to do? Are you about to feature in a movie in the next 2 years? What part of your is there any elements of your creativity that we're gonna see new in the next few years? Is there something that we don't know about, something that you're building up to? Give us any sort of snippet of what's happening for Minister Taft now.
I mean, more music, definitely. And you mentioned there about movie. You never know, you know. Like I said, God working different ways. So you just never know. You just never know. But yeah, definitely for sure. You know, more music and more philanthropist work. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I got a charity called Street Feed, where, you know, go on the street, feed the homeless. So more of that as well. Brilliant. So yeah, man. Brilliant. So that's what in the making. Hopefully, you know. Let's see what God does. Could be tours, you know what I'm saying, headline shows. So Amen. Looking into various things, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, man, because when I do something like, for example, a headline show, I want to make sure it's done and it's done well, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And it's must be sold out and thing, man. You know what I mean? People can come and have a great and awesome time.
Brilliant.
Jesus. Yeah, man.
Oh, that's fantastic. Listen, you know, how can people get to your music? Just do your way of just saying to people how to get connected to you. How do you want them to connect to you? Yes, I will cut and paste and put things in the description, people. But if you're not got the descriptions, Minister Taff, tell us how to link to you, how to communicate to you. I know it sometimes is bad because you got 5,000 DMs and you can't always go through different ways. But what's the way to get my hands on Minister Taff?
Yeah, obviously social media. That's one way. So Instagram, it's at Minister Taff, and it's one F. Twitter, it's at Minister_Taff. Facebook at Minister Taff. And you can also link me on my website. Subscribe to the website. It's www.IamMinisterTaff.com.
Love that.
So yeah, man, people can subscribe to, you know what I mean, the list. And you know, when news is going out, when I'm, you know what I'm saying, they'll be able to be the first to hear it. So
Brilliant.
Yeah, man.
That's fantastic, bro. Fantastic. But listen up, people. You have listened to I can't even call it exclusive because I don't want to get all posy. Yeah, but we had a The Edge interview with a UK gospel dancehall rapper from the Caribbean, from the island of Jamaica, here based in the UK. What a big talk out there. But Minister Taff, with his new album called. Now I say different. Yeah, he said different. He ain't pronounced it because
different.
I said different. Different, right? Different. Yeah, I'm saying straight to it. But listen, thanks again, bro. Thanks for the time, and we'll get this interview out there.
Thanks for having me, man.
No, appreciate it, man. Nothing but love. But listen, people. Check out Minister Taff. This is love from Roger Moore here at the Feet Extra, celebrating gospel music of black origin. And here we are celebrating gospel dancehall, man. Nothing but love.
Big up Affinity Extra.
Love, bro.
Hey, this is your bishop from Rock Solid. Thank you so much for watching us on YouTube. Thank you so much for clicking and subscribing and also sending these videos to other people as well. We are so hungry to get your support. So remember, check us out on our website, and also check us out on Insta, and wherever you want to find us on Spotify. You can play us all day as well. And just make sure that you are supporting this channel, that we are developing our agenda towards music of black origin, and that is gospel music with a message. So please walk with us on this journey. Bye now.